What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Today I am showing you how I earned 3 marks of excellence in my M48 Patton. So you're going to see 2 replays featuring this tank, which is the tier 10 American medium tank, and right now I would say that this is my favorite medium tank in the game given its current state. Ever since the turret armor was updated and the cupola, well, the cupola is still there on the top of the turret, but ever since the cupola was changed and made slightly smaller and less easy to hit, this tank has become a god. Arguably one of the highest performing medium tanks in the game right now. Super Unicums absolutely love this tank, and there's a good reason for that. It is a jack of all trades. It does nothing badly and it does everything well. It has a great gun with great penetration, decent accuracy. The turret armor is absolutely insane. If you're hold down in this thing, people just cannot penetrate you unless they fire gold rounds or if they hit your cupola, which when you're engaging from a distance is not something that's that easy to do. It's just great. The Patton really is a jack of all trades, and it has fantastic view range as well, which is something that comes into the equation in this game. 420 meters of view range. You can effectively work this like a light tank. Now there's an enemy FV215B spotted. I purposely aim for his tracks and people are slapping this guy already, so I'm already up to 1200 assisted damage, and I get a shot blind in on that guy before he disappears. Now aiming for the Conqueror, sticking a shot straight through his lower glacis before he gets taken out by a friendly. Now this Object 277 is pushing forward. Fortunately we track him in place there, and our next shot is going to track him as well, keeping him in place, allowing us to rack up the assisted damage. And you can see both of his tracks are currently off, and we can quite easily keep him tracked while dealing damage at this time. So going straight through him again, keeping him tracked. Artillery's already hit him. A few of my teammates are shooting at him as well. We get one more penetration in. Can we get another before he goes down? No, we can't. He gets taken out by our Progetto. Now I'm trying to shoot the FV215B blind there again, but obviously he's moved out to a different position. But we light up this enemy E100. Well, our light tank did. But again, I'm going to aim for his tracks, track him in place. Artillery hits him, allowing me to rack up some more assisted damage. That shot for his lower glacis actually hit his tracks there again, so that would have tracked him in place. Aiming for it again though, it deviates slightly to the left and hits the rock. And it's quite speculative for me to penetrate that shot anyway, so now I aim for the side of his turret, which he's angling towards me and at an angle that I know that I will be able to penetrate. And we do get a penetration before he repairs his tracks and moves into cover. But now I'm going to push up. His turret is no doubt going to change direction to aim for our light tank, and once again I get a shot on his drive wheel, tracking him in place. He's not changing his attention to try and shoot our light tank, so once again I shoot the same spot, keeping him tracked, allowing my team to farm him. Now an enemy T-28 prototype was spotted on the hill back there, so I make a mental note of that, but he actually appears again, and I could probably penetrate this shot, but I wait for him to give me his 50mm of side armor before taking the shot and securing the kill. So we are close to 4,000 assisted damage right now just from sitting back on this ridgeline and keeping our opponents tracked. The enemy team isn't doing too good either. It is 5-2 in our favor, and it's just this FV215B on this side now, which we need to take out before we can push over to the other side to start engaging the enemies that are over there. So I'm on full health. I know that this 215B is going to be in the defilade on my left, which is going to allow me to use my gun depression and my turret armor. So he gets spotted, I shoot him. Unfortunately that one glances the front of his gun mantlet and he turns his turret to shoot me, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm on full health, and by the time that I reload I take him down, and now I can switch my attention to the other side of the map. So I'm just getting behind the rocks to avoid being hit by artillery. and now I'm going to push to the other side. So the enemy team have actually pushed the town quite aggressively, but we have 2 heavy tanks and a medium tank over there engaging their 2 heavy tanks and a tank destroyer, as you can see on the minimap. And I'm just trying to put myself into a position where I can get some flanking shots on those tanks, which is why I'm making myself move over this way. And the enemy T95E6 gets spotted, so I'm actually going to head towards this guy now. Chances are there's probably still a few people kicking it around their base. As you can see, the artillery is now spotted along with 2 medium tanks who are relatively close to their base, which is probably due to the fact that they're trying to stop us from capturing the flag. Now the enemy tanks on my right are actually falling, so I'm going to switch my attention to the left and hopefully get some shots at this T95E6 and the artillery, which is what we do. Artillery is spotted. We get an exact average damage roll right there for 390. Artillery misses me, allowing me to reload and finish him off. Now we do get tracked by the by the KPZ, sorry, the SU-130 is poking out. Somehow my shot missed him there. I think it must have went through a gap, but I'm keeping him lit, and the equalizer blaps that guy in one shell. Now the T95E6 pops up. We stick a shot through the side of him. My teammates are probably going to kill him before I can reload, which is what they do. Switching my attention to the KPZ now. I'm just trying to track this guy in place, which is exactly what we do. But I'm unable to get a shot here, which is going to go through. He repairs his tracks in time. I actually try and retrack him there so that I can get more assisted damage. But we've done more than enough in this game to increase our marks of excellence. Anyway, we are over 4,000 assisted damage and 3,600 damage of our own. He gets taken out, and now we can take a look at the post-game stats to review how we did. Okay, ladies and gents, so unfortunately I didn't actually record or take a picture of the team statistics and my own detailed statistics, so the gun performance and things like that, but we do have the post-game stats here for us to review so that you can see how I did in that match. And you can see that I racked up 4,013 damage from 12 penetrations. Now, if you're wondering why the damage counter was showing a different value to that, it's because I was successfully able to penetrate a shot on the FV215B as he went unspotted. Now, because of that, the damage counter doesn't include that shot. It doesn't recognize that that shot took place, and that's why it doesn't update the value in the match. Of course, you have to have the damage counter enabled for it to do that in the first place, but that is why our total damage is different at the post-game stat screen in comparison to the damage counter, which is live in-game. Now, a very good result indeed. We picked up 4,349 assisted damage that game, which is largely credit to our tracking shots in that game, which allowed our team to farm stationary targets that we were also able to damage and permatrack in the process. We destroyed 3 of those enemy tanks, picking up a grand total of 66,220 silver alongside 5,056 experience. Picking up an Ace Tanker Mastery badge that game. We unfortunately didn't pick up any medals, but 8,000 damage combined is a good game. That's something that is nice, especially when you're aiming for marks of excellence. This target will easily either maintain or push your mark of excellence damage rating up in the M48 Patton. If you can't do, I think raw damage wise, you want to aim for around 5,000 damage. That will continuously increase your mark of excellence damage standing without a doubt. But if you can't reach that target, it's always a good idea to try and get some assisted damage in there as well, because that will help, and everything helps. The more damage you can do and the more assisted damage you can do, the more you will push towards the 95% and the 3 mark of excellence damage standing. So that's my advice to you. If you are struggling for raw damage, try and get some assisted damage as well. Utilize the M48 Patton's 420 meters of view range, and you will have a good time, I promise you. It can almost work as a light tank on certain maps in certain situations. Obviously, you don't want to be YOLOing forward and just trying to spot as many targets as you can. If you do it smartly, you'll pick up a lot of assisted damage, and that will push you towards 95% damage standing. Now, just a quick disclaimer before we move into the next game. I'm sorry you guys are probably getting bored of this stat screen, but before we enter the next match, I actually played a few games in between this one and the last one that you just watched. So maybe 2 or 3 games or so. I think I was around 92.9% at this point after the match that you've just seen. And after the 2 or 3 games that we had in between this next game, we managed to increase our mark of excellence standing to, I think it was about 93.4, 93.7%. And this next game that you're going to see is the game where we managed to push it up all the way to 95%, literally on the dot. So without further ado, we'll get into the last game where you can see me achieve the 3 mark of excellence. So let's get into it. Okay, ladies and gents, welcome to the second game. Here we are on Malinovka Winter, taking out the M48 Patton again, and this is a standard battle format. Now, I'm going to push to one of the aggressive positions that I like to get into in my medium tanks on this game, because you can spot targets in the field and over towards the buildings on the enemy side of the map when you spawn on this side, as well as shooting targets that attempt to push up the hill. Now, we're going to get off the board nice and early here. There's a T100 LT in the open ground. We are able to get a nice shot through the side of that guy, and hopefully we're going to follow up with another one here. Yes, we are. So, damaging probably one of the most dangerous enemy tanks. And are we going to get a third? Yes, we are. Hopefully we should be able to kill this guy and secure the kill. The sooner we can get this guy out of the game, the better. He is going to be very dangerous in the later stages of the game. But unfortunately, our 4th and final shot on that guy misses, and we're unable to secure the kill. Now, the enemy Batchat 25 has been a bit of a pleb. He pushed up below us, and he got taken out by a combination of our T95 E6 in front of me and the light tank down below. Now, this is the position that I like to get in. These bushes here, they can allow you to shoot at targets pushing up the hill, as well as shooting at people like this T95 E6, who we get a nice side shot through. Unfortunately, low rolling though for 354 right there, but he just didn't get himself in cover in time, and we were able to squeeze a shot through. Now, unfortunately, the enemy tanks over here are actually using the defilade as cover, which is very smart of them. You do get shooting opportunities at tanks over there, but only if they are plebs or, you know, like a tall enough tank to not be able to hide behind the defilade, which hopefully is what we're going to be able to do to this Jaegeru here. If he pushes up a little bit more, he's probably going to be tall enough for us to get a shot through the side of him without taking any damage in return. Now, I'm feeling more aggressive at this point, and I'm going to push to the E7 position and basically take more control of the map from the enemies. There's a huge enemy force pushing the hill, and if I can get behind them and use this position to my advantage, then we're going to be able to farm some damage. And they're probably not expecting anybody to pop up here either, even though I am spotted. We get the turret shot on that Panzer 7, but unfortunately our gun lets us down there and doesn't fly true. But never mind, we reload, tried to shoot the M48, and the gun lets us down again, unfortunately. But these guys are completely oblivious to my presence, and that time around we get a shot through the side of the M48 Patton, unfortunately low rolling for 372, and then again low rolling on the Panzer 7 there for 322, but it's damaged nonetheless. And we take a shot from behind us, which actually came from the T95 E6 who we shot at earlier. Again though, we can fire a shot at him. That one unfortunately only does critical damage, so I assume that I hit his tracks there just as he went unspotted. But we're going to aim for the VK7201 now. Unfortunately, that shot doesn't penetrate the side of his turret. So we getting a little bit unlucky with our gun right here. We've put ourselves in a good position to engage these guys, But following up on the VK, we get a shot through the side of him, which finishes him off. Now we've got this M48 Patton going ham and pushing us, but he's in a hold down position. So I need to aim for his cupola, which is what I do. He glances my turret, and I unfortunately miss him. But with any luck, he is going to push to a different position where I can start engaging him, as he is pushing down anyway. But we do have an M46 Patton on the enemy team spotted now, and we get a nice damage roll of 398 through that guy. This guy is pushing up now in the M48. I'm surprised that that shot didn't actually penetrate. I was expecting that one to penetrate his drive wheel and keep him tracked there, but my friendly IS-4 takes that guy out. Now, there's only 4 enemy tanks remaining at this point. I'm only on 3,000 damage as well, so I've not done enough to secure the 3 marks of excellence at this point. But fortunately, we're able to penetrate the T95 E6's turret through some buildings there. Well, I say buildings, it's mostly just cover, soft cover from the wooden logs, which you can actually shoot through. And now I need to push this guy, as well as the other enemy T95 E6 who's in the distance. So we get a shot through the T95 E6 closer to us, which tracks him in place. And I'm just angling my armor here, getting another shot through the side, bouncing his turret, or bouncing his shot off of my, well, I say bouncing, I mean eating his shot in my tracks, which is exactly the shot that I was presenting for him, which has allowed us to get to 4,300 damage with 600 assisted. So we are over 5,000 damage combined right now. But I really need to farm this final medium tank, as there's not going to be any chance of me getting any damage on the Badger. That guy is completely isolated, and he has 3 enemy tanks closing in on him. So my best bet is to push this T95 E6 and try and secure all of this guy's health for my own. So I'm going to push up the hill, which is exactly where he's going to be. I'm going to have him in a corner here. He's either going to have to push me and take the damage from me, if I can actually get up the hill, moving my tracks to the side so that I can actually traverse this obstacle. Now we get a good shot on the move on his cupola, unfortunately low rolling for 330. But I should just be able to push up here. I've got more than enough health to just push this guy and not care. We track him in place for 359. And with any luck, we're going to be able to hit him again, which we do. Nice damage roll, 464, and then my friendly T100 takes him out. So let's take a look at the post-game stats and see how we did. Okay, ladies and gents, so taking a look at the post-game stats from this game, straight away you can see that we were able to secure our 3rd mark of excellence in the M48 Patton, which is awesome because arguably these days the M48 Patton is harder to 3 mark than ever since it was given increased turret armor and the tumor weak spot was flattened down, made a bit smaller. And when I say tumor weak spot, I mean the cupola, because it literally resembled a tumor previously. But the cupola was made smaller and harder to hit, and the turret armor was buffed, meaning the M48 Patton is absolutely amazing at being hold down, and it's probably one of the strongest hold down tanks at tier 10, aside from the Super Conqueror and the Valor. It really is. Those are its closest competitors. It is ridiculously strong, and it makes the tank deal more damage, be able to block more damage, and therefore draws more super unicums to play it, in turn making it harder to 3 mark because everybody's doing well in it. So for me to have 3 marked it now, I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. You can see that from that game, we picked up 5,493 damage from 15 penetrations, destroying 2 enemy tanks in the process, picking up only a measly 697 assisted damage from that game. But we had a nice assisted damage haul in the first game, so who cares? And we blocked an impressive 2,370 damage that game as well, which is always nice. Unfortunately, this was not an ace tanker, it was a first class. Had we have done maybe 2 or 3 more shots of damage, it would have been an ace tanker as well, I would have thought. But we did pick up a Confederate medal, which is always nice, and we picked up 71,000 144 silver, as well as 4,989 experience. Moving into the team statistics, you can see that I topped my team by about 2,500 damage, which is always nice. The closest competitor to us was our friendly Object 279E, and on the enemy team, we outdamaged our closest competitor by about 3,000 damage, who was the T95E6. So a very, very, well, I wouldn't say an unbelievable game, because it's not, but a decent game to secure the 3rd mark of excellence on, and one less tank for me to get 3 marks of excellence on, which is nice as well. Soon you are going to see my 3rd mark of excellence game in the M26 Pershing, which is the tier 8 American medium tank. Again, a great tank in the line, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that one as well. But I hope you did enjoy this video today. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up. It massively helps and it's hugely appreciated. Honestly guys, I can't appreciate the love enough. And I will catch you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, take care, and peace out.
I like that.